This meeting is being recorded.
That's so creepy. All right, guys. Welcome to the Ego Expo Information Night. My name is Mel, for those of you who I haven't crossed paths yet. I am the founder and director at the moment for Ego Expo. I'll get you guys to put yourself on mute just because there's going to be some feedback, but more than welcome to utilize the chat, and then we'll go from there. For those that are watching the replay as well, we'll have a summary of the Q&A so that you don't miss out on any of the questions from the chat, but hopefully I can answer everything and get you guys really excited for this pop-up. I will share screen. Most of you guys would have probably seen this document. If you haven't, we will email it over to you, but a lot of this we would have sent over to you. So as you can see here, Ego Expo is doing its very own first time ever winter retail pop-up. So we're an expo. Traditionally, we're a 2-day expo at the start of the year annually, and it's a massive project, but we've never really been able to do something in the middle of the year. One, due to resources, to the staff and the time management, and just the amount of legwork it actually takes to run this. But we've been given a really exciting opportunity by District Docklands, where for the first time, I feel like we do have, one, the space, the capacity, and the power to be able to bring another community element for you guys, and especially for Australian independent brands. The core purpose of Ego Expo's business is literally so simple. We connect online independent brands to their customers face to face. We believe in storytelling. We believe that the founder of the brand is something that drives sales. Stories sell, not necessarily the product. So the more that you can interact with your direct customer, the more that people are going to start building trust, touch, feel, value of your label, and then it carries back onto your e-commerce channels. So we're pretty aware that you guys sell off Instagram or Shopify, a lot of online platforms, but I think if you, for your business, add in these pop-up retail market opportunities, it's just going to take your brand to that next level because people get to see, touch, and feel your product. All right. So for us, having this winter retail pop-up is an exciting time. We get to do something for you guys in the middle of the year where we normally just do once a year, and we get to build that community that way. So you can see here today is July 5th. Which gives you guys 4 weeks. So I understand that the timeline is tight, but once I show you kind of everything, if you've got your products and your collection ready to drop direct to consumer, it should be pretty good for you to jump in and capture this. So like what I had kind of just touched on, it's our first retail pop-up. We're predominantly focused on emerging and independent streetwear brands. Our passion is on people that like yourselves that are on this call that are super passionate. We want to bring essentially Australia to the world rather than the world to Australia. No one really seems to care what talent we have here. And honestly, like being in this industry for 4 to 5 years, we have so much talent in this creative space in Melbourne and Australia alone. And we really want to put that on the map. If you have been to an Ego Expo before, or if you have heard about us, you can understand that we are community driven first. We want to elevate you guys. We genuinely just want to give you guys the opportunity to bring your community and get them to listen to your stories, hear about your brand, and then make sales online, okay? Who we serve. So this data here, as you can see, this was from this year. So this year in February, we had the Expo. Everyone, when they buy a ticket and when they sign in online, we capture data. You can see here that our audience is scaled predominantly 49% is actually 18 to 24. In previous years, majority of people were 25 to 34. And now we've successfully been able to skew it younger. Our mission here at Ego is to draw people younger and younger in, so that essentially they can grow old with the brand. They can grow old with you guys. And most of our retail partners, they're also looking at a younger age demographic. We're really going to try and go for that 13 to 17-year-old sneaker market as well, so that these guys haven't yet made a decision on what's cool yet coming out of high school, and they're very easily to be influenced. So we want our Aussie brands to be able to influence this younger community. You can see slightly skewed to males, pretty normal in the streetwear space. I think being a female-led business, we're always striving to sort of have that equal representation and a lot of representation of people of color. So you'll see in a lot of our marketing and everything like that, we just genuinely have a lot of people of color. We're running 2 activations for this side by side, but if your brand is affiliated with kind of Ego, you will get to come through and market through our channels. That's kind of what we're here for. We'll try and do as much as we can. So if we sometimes slip between the cracks and we forget, just literally DM one of us and someone will like do a post for you straight away. We only really try and share stories that are affiliated with brands that have worked with us. So a lot of the times for Ego Expo, we get DMs all the time, literally being like, hey, can you do a shout out for us? Hey, can you post about this? And we try and keep it really just like value for brands that have already worked with us, instead of just kind of sharing our audience and community to everything. We're quite targeted with who we select. And then we've got a throwback lounge pop-up that I'll explain, but it goes hand in hand so that the guys that are coming through as a shopper, they get to experience both of these stores. A few of you guys have already jumped in and sort of done your own videos and come down to the Docklands and checked out the space. Go for your live. If you live kind of locally and in Melbourne, we're already at the District Docklands. This signage is already up. We're getting a lot of just organic hype, people around walking around the shopping centre. Currently it's school holidays and people are excited. There's definitely a buzz. They have no idea what really it is. We have no idea what brands are really signing on yet. But even just our general marketing kind of thing, people are like, oh my God, cool, like streetwear, sneakers, culture. It's going to be really cool. We're located opposite H&M and Uniqlo. I selected this space so that you guys get kind of like a guaranteed foot traffic for these kind of big retail brands. And so because our store is going to be quite attractive and there's going to be cool music, things like that, it's just naturally going to get general passerbys coming through and looking at your product. And then I'll talk a little bit about marketing as well. So this is the shop. It's quite a large shop. This is definitely not to scale. So you can see here that we've got a limited of 25 labels per weekend. We've actually just gone and done the measurements, and I was just way too much of an overachiever and I wanted to fit 25 in, and the team's kind of come back and said that's physically impossible. So we can only fit 16 stalls at 2.5 by 2.5, roughly that. So just take note of that is an error on my end. We will be able to, like, if you want a bigger space, just tell me about it. If you have a larger pop-up activation, let me know. I'm more than happy to kind of let you take up 2 of our bays. And yeah, so there'll be around 16 brands on rotation every weekend. Where you saw here, that's the shop front. And then this is all going to be window opportunity, which means it's all this one. But people are going to come in anyway. We've got a massive sneaker kind of activation and wall where people can take a photo opportunity near the change rooms. So they're going to filter through here like a bit like a pop-up market store. So as I've talked about with the lounge, you guys will have an opportunity to activate the retail pop-up store Friday, Saturday, Sunday only. The reason why I've kind of done Friday, Saturday, Sunday is just maximum foot traffic. And at least I can guarantee, I'd hate for people to just be sitting there and then on a Monday, Tuesday, and there's not really anyone there. And also most of us have full-time jobs outside of sort of this, and I can appreciate that. So just being really realistic with the brands that we have, putting it Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be the best fit. You can see here that there's a stage schedule. So the first weekend, there's an official media launch night. You will all be invited to that, but we'll also open up the shop. So that will be a later night where all of these kind of media buyers and all of that can come through and have a look at your product. And then Saturday, Sunday is just a general day of trade. The second weekend, week 2, we've got the sneakers, paint and sip, and then we've got the dance battle showcase. We've got a lot of events that are happening within it so that, again, it draws people to this concept store, so this pop-up. Same thing, week 3, we've got a Melbourne's Got Talent. Think Australia's Got Talent, but Melbourne's Got Talent, and there's a cash prize up for grabs. So a lot of families are going to come through with their aunties, uncles, cousins and whatnot. So week 3 will also be really good. And Sunday night, we're putting on an entrepreneurship talk panel. If you've been to Ego Expo before, we're all about education, but in a really cool, unique way. So this entrepreneurship panel is just for most of our businesses to gain insight into the market and learn about branding, sales and marketing through other creative entrepreneurs within the space. So that one's really for you guys as business owners. So I highly encourage, if you are free, to come down on the Sunday for that creative entrepreneurship talk panel. And then the last weekend is kind of like our big hurrah. We've got a e-games live stream on the Friday, and then we've got like a little music festival that's going to happen on the Saturday, and then Sunday we kind of go out with a bang. But just so you know, like every weekend is going to be just as like the reason why I've done all these mini pop-up events is so that every single weekend is going to be just the same amount of heavy traffic flow for you guys as possible. All right. This is where, if you guys have done mini pop-ups before, you've learned this before, but I'm just going to kind of talk generally for everyone that might not have done a retail pop-up or might not have as much experience. When you do a pop-up, I'm doing this at cost. I'm literally just making sure the rent is covered, and then the rest is like you make what you want to make. We don't take any commissions, we don't take any goods of sales, nothing. All you do is you come in, you set up your space. It's $50 a day for the 3 days. It's $150 for the weekend. I'll never sell anything this cheap kind of again. And if you guys have done the investment for ego before, you know that the investment for ego is quite dearer. But for this we're really about showing you guys that we're about community. We want you guys to meet and greet your audience. We want you to meet and greet customers that you might not get to all the time and at a very affordable price. And we want you guys to network the shit out of this event. Essentially, you guys will be expected to be there 12 till 6. Because we're not taking a sale, we will have FPOS facilities for you though. So the way that we've got it is we've partnered up with a company called MetaSwitch. They'll have an FPOS facility with your business number, your details. Once you register with us, they'll link it to your BSB and account number, all of that sort of thing. And then they'll just transfer you your sales individually. So every single person has their own merchant facility. We don't take anything from it. The only reason why we're offering that uniquely is so that we have a responsibility to show the district Docklands how successful our pop-up was. So that's the only thing that we're going to do. So I know some of you might have your own square facility. It will be very similar to that. So no charges, no fees in terms of upfront. They'll take the merchant fee, which is pretty normal for credit cards and all of that sort of stuff. You can choose to onboard that merchant facility fee to the customer. So what that means is $20, it'll be 21.13 or something like that. I don't know the maths. But you'll all get a phone call from the merchant facility person to sign up yourself and do all of that. So it's a third-party brand. But the only reason why we're doing that, like I said, is we have to show District Docklands the numbers of what overall, how successful it was. So like I said, these pop-ups are really good for you to create your own marketing campaigns, your own community. If you're from interstate, like Noah, the label, like if you're from Adelaide and you want to come to Melbourne, now's a really good time to kind of do a meet and greet in Melbourne, or like show off kind of like whatever little community you might have here. They can come and shop for free. They can come and test out your collection for free. Yeah, so really capitalize on your own community, get them out there, get them to come in, family, friends, mums, dads, all of that. It's a really good time for you to show off your new products and your new collections. Market testing and product validity. If you've never really gone out there before with your collection, the market's not going to lie. So if you make 0 sales, God forbid, hopefully all of you guys will make a return on investment back. But if you make 0 sales, it's a really good time to talk to your customer and go, what are you looking for? What is it that people are wanting out in the market? Look at your neighbors. This is very collaborative versus competition, okay? Like we're all about collaboration. Have a look at where people's pitfalls are. What are some people's success stories? What are some people's failures? That's the beauty of Ego and this networking platform. You'll get to see who's popping off and who's not making any sales, and then you'll learn. You learn from trial and error, and you learn from failing as well. So I'm sure like sometimes some of your collections and drops might have full peaked and you sold out, and sometimes you hit on sale and nothing comes through. This is a really like good time for you to look at that market testing and product validity. Increase social media campaigns. So do your BTSs, do your stories, announce that you're doing a pop-up. You don't even have to say that you're doing it at Ego. Just say you're doing your own pop-up, whatever that may be. Increase your social media campaign that way and get hype around your own little community that we then also leverage off R1, which we're already marketing for you anyway. Brand awareness, that's a no-brainer. Come out, people know your brand, people discover your brand. If they don't buy on the spot, do enough to get them to follow your Instagram, subscribe to your email, whatever it may be. Then when that person is ready to buy a month later, 3 weeks later, 5 months later, whatever that may be, you're at the top of their mind. They've met you, they built a relationship. not everyone wants to buy a t-shirt straight away once meeting you, but over the course of the time, you're going to build a lifetime customer rather than a single one-off customer. Meet and greet, like I said, a chance for your online community to buy in person, business networking, a 3x3, but it's actually 2.5 by 2.5 freestanding space. You'll have access to power. We'll pay for your overnight security. So anything that you're worried about, an overnight security guard is literally going to sit in our shop. Then what else? Independent facilities, all of that. So all up, if you want to do the month, if your business is sort of, you've got the resources to get a homie down or like whatever to be there every weekend, I suggest you do that. You're going to learn a lot. But even if you just do one weekend, I guarantee that you'll get value out of it. Don't worry too much about sponsorship opportunities. Outside of myself and the MCO events team, I do want to flag Omar and Beza that are working with me on this. Beza has been involved in Ego Expo with Foot Locker, and then Omar, I'm sure if anyone went to Ego, he just won label of the show, but he's not going to be doing it. He's going to actually be working with you guys as a mentor. He's taken his brand over the last 5 years to what it is. You don't have to love the West, but you can respect what he's done with the brand and how he's taken it to a whole nother level. And he'll teach you everything to do with building a community and how to kind of leverage that. So I've chosen the best to kind of work with to make sure that, you guys succeed. Have a look at our Instas as well. We'll be pumping your brand and everything like that through our social media. Westside Thugs has just recently been acquired by Westside Apparel. So it's a big platform there. And so he's going to be sharing a lot of Ego Expo content over the course of this 4 weeks. So that's kind of really it. Questions. Obviously, there will be quite a few questions and stuff. So yeah, Dana, if you want to, is it Dana or Dana?
It's Dana.
Dana, perfect. If you, unmute yourself and let me know.
Okay, I have a few. So the open night, is that still 12 till 9 or is that?
Yeah, so the opening night, you guys will be there 12 till 6, but we will invite you to stay back and leave the shop open. The media night is 6 till 9.
Okay. I have a few, but maybe someone else.
Yeah, no, keep going, because I'm sure like everyone's gonna have the same questions.
All right. The music festival you're doing on the 4th week, do you guys already have performers for that?
Not locked in. So if you want to connect with offline from this, Nadia, can you just take Dana's details and pass it to Omar?
Yep.
Yeah. So like they're not all locked in.
Okay. All right. I think I've got Nadia's email.
Oh, perfect. Are you do you have talent or are you the talent?
I rap.
Oh, perfect.
So I was wondering if there's slots, if we can put something on. I know a few people around Melbourne too, so
awesome.
need more numbers.
Yeah, perfect. Beza, I think you're on mute at the moment, but B, if you just want to quickly say hello. Unless she's just not on. That's all right. Yeah, and same as Perry there. So we'll make sure that you get connected and have an initial conversation. I'm not running that personally, because if I was running everything, I'd die. But yeah, I'll get Omar to link up with you guys and just have a conversation.
Okay.
Awesome.
A few more. So we can't have our own FPOS. You have like a third-party merchant, but can we do cash or anything like that? Or
yeah, you can.
Okay. Is there anything on Monday to Friday? Like, do we leave our stores in the shop until the following weekend if we're going off?
If you're doing more than one, yeah, everything's locked. And we will keep it there Monday to Thursday. We're there kind of like just as an office space, but Monday to Thursday, you're welcome to keep your stuff there for sure.
Okay. And do we need our own public liability or do you guys have it?
So we have the public liability that will cover you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess you're going to go through how to sign up and whatnot.
Yep. So had you seen that before? That deck?
No.
Awesome.
Seen what? Sorry.
Had you seen what I had just gone through? That sponsorship deck or that sales deck?
That PDF.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nadia emailed it to me.
Perfect. Did she email a contract agreement with that?
No.
No.
I didn't.
She can I'm just going to shoot everything to Nadia. Nadia's just there in the corner in the pink. She's actually at the throwback lounge right now. I'll get her to follow up with you, babe.
All right. Thank you. That's it.
Good. Perry?
Yeah, I have a few questions, Mel. For Fridays, because obviously I work full time and have 3 companies, getting there on a Friday is not really something that I can do more than once.
Yeah.
So how does that work if we can't do Friday but want the weekend?
Why are you gonna play me like that?
I'm just as busy as you, Mel, and I can't have
Yeah, I totally get it, and that's why I was trying to just make it even like that. Look, we'll fit you in for 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know, obviously.
I just got to figure out, it's more just about placement. So obviously when shops open, like you can imagine like a Maya or a David Jones or a Culture Kings or a General Pants, like the last thing that would be the professional bit would be someone bumping in while we're open as a retail store.
Yeah.
So it's just working out the hours when you can kind of bump in on the Friday night, maybe when we're closed. It just might mean you have to come in at like 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, I mean, like, or like extremely early on a
early in the
Saturday.
morning.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. It's more of like customs are not an easy one to just put someone in there to sell because they don't know the prices, they don't know the timelines, and it's always varying. So
I get it. And also they can't sell, like, especially for you, I know your business, like you are the artist.
Yeah.
Custom sneakers. I can't have like Dominic sell for you because you'll be like, yeah, this looks like $150. Like, yeah.
So I can potentially like I can have the like merch there, but not the sneakers. But then the sneakers are the whole business. So it just gets complicated from there. The other question was in line with the POS system. If we have our own, because again, customs vary in price, I don't have a standard price for everything. I'm happy to give you receipts.
It's just an FPOS facility. So all I mean by that is like you'll just you'll get like an FPOS terminal, whatever prices you are, you put it through. The number of the FPOS is already linked to your BSB and account number.
Oh yeah, but like in my Square, I have all my quote stuff already in there with prices. So it'd be like going back and forth, but I can give you my Square receipts for each weekend to give.
Yep, that should be fine.
So you still have that data?
Yeah, that should be fine. I just know people like sometimes it's just complicated, so it's easier if we just know, like we don't do anything with it other than report it. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay, because I have like 300 items in Square for 16 things, so it's just a lot of stuff. And then I know I emailed you back on this and I realized I may have had a brain fart. The sneakers paint and sip, is that them drawing a sneaker and painting it, or are they painting sneakers?
That's a Beza question, who doesn't seem to be online at the moment, but she's
okay. Just because if they're painting sneakers and I'm selling customs, that to me is a really big conflict, because unless I'm running it or someone who has my background is running it,
is that conflict for?
It's kind of like, oh, she's selling that for $600, but here's a $50 place you can do it yourself. That kind of is like,
no, but like you're an artist. I don't think it's ever going to conflict. Like people that want to do a paint and sips, it's not like that. Like it's not even real artwork.
Yeah, they just need to be taught correctly if they're gonna.
Yeah. Of course, no. It's done. The only reason why I'm saying that is it's a Foot Locker thing. So they'll definitely send out a custom sneaker person.
Okay. All right.
Just bear with me. I'm just trying to call her to see if she's.
I have her number. I can just text her.
Okay, cool. I'll like just, that's a minor detail. So let me know. I don't even know if that's going ahead exactly. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. And then the very last one is, what numbers of foot traffic are you expecting?
So the general shopping center traffic, I'll get those numbers. It is during their winter. So the winter isn't as, one second. B. She didn't answer. I think they get like 12,000 over the weekends in August. Obviously, it's shopping center traffic, so you have to understand that it's shopping center. It's not every single person's obviously going to walk through and go directly and buy from you. but we're going to push our own marketing channels and all of that. That being said, it's a first time, so we're collecting as much data as you are, which is why the prices are super affordable, because we're learning along the way. We're not shying away from that, if that makes sense. We have no data. We've never done a winter proper. So I'm treating this, like I think it was Deep, it was like, I'm looking forward to the Expo. I want to be really clear that it's not an Expo. An Expo is a convention, is a trade show. There's a certain level of requirement that I have to deliver for you guys. As a winter pop-up market, a little bit different, just because we're banking on the shopping center traffic as well. Yeah, hope that helps. Deep?
Yeah. What time can we start setting up our stores? Like, say if it's 12 to 6, what time can we start setting up the stores?
It'll be the night before. So anytime the Thursday night or the morning, and then we're like be done by 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
So be ready 1 hour before it gets open up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. And what other like facilities would be available? Would you guys have tables, mannequins, anything like that?
No, we don't have anything. There will be some racks, but just I would suggest to try and bring. Are you interstate or are you in Melbourne?
Yeah. So my brother is based in Melbourne. He'll be sorting out everything.
Okay, cool. So
and I'll be flying for the thing.
So with some of the interstate brands, that's where I've tried to leverage from the shopping center to get some racks and clothing racks, because I understand how hard it might be. Most of it will be able to give you a list of suppliers as well. There's a lot of like event hire places that do clothing racks, although it gets pretty expensive. I might like, sometimes it's like, just go and buy some. But we encourage you to bring in, if you've ever done any sort of like market pop-up, like everyone just kind of brings in their own space. We mark it out. You'll have your name and like on the floor plan, essentially. We'll bump you in and help you, but you bring in everything. You're quite self-sufficient. That being said, if you do want to hire like a trestle table or like a clothing rack, just let me know. I'll source it for you if I have to.
Okay, great. And would there be any signages like for individual stores, or do we bring our own signages?
Bring your own signage. I will have a look at that. Because essentially at the front of the store, the vision at the moment is that I'll have all your all your names of your brands and like the stand as like a front table. But if they're like in terms of specific signage of your market store, not really, because I don't have anything to guarantee to hang it on. But and also guys, be creative. Like this is a really good time to do visual merchandising. Like be creative with the way that you set up your store. Absolutely, you can just come in with a rack and call it a day. But if you kind of get a little bit more creative, it's going to encourage people to just talk to you more and entice them into your little space a bit more.
Great. That's all the questions from me. Thank you.
Pat? Hey, Pat, sorry, I didn't actually check in on you before. How are you?
No, good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
So you had the quick floor plan of where all the stores are going to be. How soon will we know actually where we are in that floor plan? Like,
probably like a week out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think it's that like imminent, if that makes, like, I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can guarantee that you'll save your space. But if you, I think, did you send through a preference? Was that you? I'm not sure if it was.
No,
Might not have been.
That time.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
if you guys have preferences, let me know. I'm always working within you and for you. So it's like, if you're like, hey Mel, really want this particular space, when you sign that contract and you send it over to myself, Nadia, or Cherie, just be like, I would prefer this. We have contact notes for each of you guys. We'll put it in. And if for whatever reason I can't do it, I normally have a pretty good reason. But first in, best dressed is a pretty good policy. So if Pat, you were like, I want the front window one, and then for that weekend, no one's done it yet, of course I'm going to give it to you. You're the first to commit and take action.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you.
That's all good. Another one? Anyone else? Nick, no questions from you? I feel like you're always asking me questions. You're chilling.
I do have a follow-on to the question on the spaces.
Yeah.
In that image, you have like lines that are like 3,000 numbers. Is that like a wall? Is that sheeting?
No, that's just measurements. So that's just for, yeah. So that's just the builder's specs.
Okay, so the only ones with walls are,
There's
Um,
there's no walls. So they're like, Nadia, do you have a video,
Of,
the space?
I do.
Or if you look on our highlights, I know it's probably, do we have one saved in our highlights on Ego Expo Winter Pop-Up? I think we might.
I think
no.
I saw it. So it's just that left hand, when you walk in, it's just the left-hand side that's a wall and the rest are windows.
Yep.
And then the
And then
back's
there's,
a wall.
and then there's 3 constructional pillars within the retail space.
Yeah, because I've got like a projection that since I have power, I can actually use this time.
Okay.
Yeah, it is in our highlights.
Yeah, so there's guys, if you haven't seen kind of what the retail space looks like, one, I encourage you to just do a walkthrough at Docklands and message one of us because we're probably going to already be there. And then another one would be look at our Instagram highlights because that shows, we'll do another one as well to show you kind of what the space looks like. Obviously, it's an empty shell scheme right now, but when all of your brands are in there, the energy just shifts. It's just like same as Ego. Like when we come in, it's a blank canvas. And then when all you labels come in and do your thing, it's incredible and it's magical. So we need you guys to show up. You know what I mean? Like we need your creative flair and all of that. And we just push it out to our audience. Cherie, any questions? Do you think that general public Adele?
One of the questions I got from someone who potentially couldn't have come today. So how is it set up? Is there going to be like barriers between the stalls or what's happening there? How do we separate the brands?
Yeah, there isn't. So essentially you will, if again, those that came to Ego and looked at the market store vibes, that's what it's going to look like. I'm going to pull up an image as well. One sec. So I'm going to share screen with you guys, just 2 quick images here. Think about like your own partitions and like see here, it's just using like coffee tables or using like a basket or using like a trolley. These ones are obviously some sort of custom built frames, but utilize your own kind of vision for your own space. Bring in a rug, do whatever it is that you feel. And then I'm just going to open up. So when you think about like a retail pop-up space, guys, there is no, when you go to, I'm going to use Maya as an example. They don't separate your stalls. So even though the shopper's going to kind of come through and walk through, there's no real divide. It's just going to be divided with like your label. Like the label's literally going to go from Faction Studios to North Clothing. You know what I mean? And because you guys are essentially there as well, the customer's going to kind of come through and talk to you. And then talk about the label, talk about the brand, and you just get out there and be like, we're 6 months old. We've been doing this and this. We're from we're from Williamstown. Like people love that stuff. People love learning about the journey and then supporting independent brands. Our customer, as in Ego Expo's database, they're already like almost conditioned and qualified to be supporting and loving emerging independent brands. Our audience loves shopping local and loves supporting local and loves discovering new brands. They kind of steer away from, a lot of people have asked why I don't collaborate with like Culture Kings, just because the feedback has always been like, don't go to Culture Kings. I'm like, they got heaps of money. But yeah, so it's always like, don't kind of go and be the sellout. They want to be able to essentially, shop local, support local, and meet the founders of the brands. I wanted to mention as well, Cherie's just kind of flagged the change room aspect. So another different part of this compared to Ego Expo. Ego Expo, you were limited in a change room. Here, it's a retail store, so they've already got change room facilities that you guys can utilize, and also your shopper can utilize if you guys want to, that is. Jordan, is your camera on? I just wanted to introduce you to the group that's here. Thanks for jumping in. I know you're at an airport right now.
Yeah.
So Jordan, guys, is the FPOS guy that I was talking about. So he has a business called MetaSwitch. He has serviced all our event ATMs essentially and merchant facilities, which is why we're bringing him on board to help support you guys. I do want to flag, like for something like Perry, we're here to support your facilities. So if you've already got something that's like, it's not going to work, just let us know. Jordan's not going to be like hounding you to be like to do it. It's more for our brands, you know what I mean? Like it's more for our brands that might not have had this chance, doesn't know how to do FPOS, doesn't know how to do BSB account number, and make it really easy for the end consumer to buy your product. That's what he's there for. Because like Dana said, of course, use cash, except not everyone has cash. Or of course, like, you know, charge your own thing and do whatever, but not everyone has those facilities. It ends up being kind of costly if you don't run pop-ups often, to just do it one time. Jordan, do you have anything to add in terms of, like, I'm gonna basically, everyone that signs on, I'm gonna give you their details and let them know that you'll make contact, and then, you know, you'll just run through everything with them, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's pretty straightforward with how it works. Is everyone who wants to use the airport, sorry about the camera, it's not working for some reason in the airport, but so you guys don't really have to do anything. You just have to let me know that you want to sign up. You just pass your bank details. You do like a mutual agreement with how the funds will be transferred and whatnot. But we're working on so the funds will still be able to be transferred back to you the same day. But it'll be max 3 days back to you guys, and we've got a financial person doing that around the clock. So with the upcoming pop-up store with Mel, you pretty much contact me. You will have my contact number. You just want to use our FPOS. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Like you literally don't have to do anything. Just let me know you want to. I'll assign you an FPOS. How it will work on a day is I'll probably, for this time, I'll want to see is all probably up when you're setting up. I'll come in. You will get a number. Each terminal will be numbered at the end of each day. You will print out a receipt, and that's how much so you've got a record on yourself. You'll keep that receipt, and just so you've got an exactly clear amount of how much you're making each day, and we'll just take the photo of each receipt. We'll have the transactions anyway on our end. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty straightforward, guys and girls. You won't be paying for anything. You should be off charging it. So it's 1.6% locked in. So the customers will be paying the charge. We will deduct the charge out of your earnings. Like, so what happens is that 1.6 gets automatically charged to the client, and it'll be transferred to us, and then you will get the full sum of your earnings. And so at the end of each day, it will be like, so your full earnings, it'll be like 1.6% extra, because that's what's being charged to the client, and that's going to you. But then we will take that 1.6 and we'll transfer you guys your full amount, and you will have all the records. We'll make sure like it's all tracked and recorded and all that. So does anyone have any questions?
Dana, was a question for FPOS or for me?
Both. I'm just wondering, is the FPOS, like, do we have to go through your FPOS? Can we use Square if we want to? Or?
Yeah. So like what I said, sorry, Jordan, like what I said, this is meant to assist those that need it. If you don't need it, don't use it.
Okay, thank you.
That's all good. Sweet.
So yeah, if anyone, even with the e-commerce too, so with our e-commerce, it's very different from any e-commerce. So we can help you with e-commerce as well. I'm not sure if Mel's touched base with you about this, but if you need help with e-commerce as well, we're really good with the rates and stuff. We can help you out with that. And it's like FPOS or e-commerce, and anything you guys need, just get my contact off Mel, and I can help you out. Just directly contact me, email me, or even just call me for any questions.
I feel like thanks, Jordan. The reason why I like partnered up with Jordan and stuff for Ego the first year and things like that is like he's a hustler like me. So it's like he's very reachable, and with the whole small business kind of vibe, like if you have any issues, he's literally on the ground and he'll troubleshoot whatever it is that you need. But yeah, it's pretty much, it operates just like Square. All right, well, I might leave it at that if everyone's kind of happy and no more questions. If anything else does come up, obviously jump in, email us, DM us. You can see here, so I've got Cherie, Nadia, Adele, they're all in my team. Bez is part of the team, her camera's off, but you're fully supported. So whatever it is that you need, whatever other questions that you have, we want you to come into this with full confidence, and have fun with it. You know, like business aside, like just have a killer time, like enjoy it. Entrepreneurship should be fun. Sweet.
Great. Thanks, Melissa.
Thanks, guys. Oops, sorry.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. I'll just leave my thing down. I'll stop recording.
Thanks.